My top tips for simple living part 2. Hi, my name's Roger Osborne, and in today's video I'm going to share with you some more things that we've learnt about how to live sustainably. We'll also follow up on the B300K batteries that we've tried out. You can watch part 1 if you like by clicking the link in the corner or in the description below. Again, I'm not being paid anything for this content, but Bluetti sent us 2 B300K expansion batteries last month, along with some discount codes for you guys. So I'll quickly follow up on that first. You can also use the chapter headings to head straight to my tips for simple living if you prefer. Stick around to the end for a free PDF download which will outline some vital keys from today's session. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you've learned as well. I'd love to hear about it, because when we all help each other to live more self-sustainably, everyone wins. Make sure that you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already. Let's get into it. Last month, Bluetti sent us 2 B300K batteries that are compatible with our friend's home backup system. As I've previously covered, this system has helped us power so many projects on this property and has been super handy. These batteries are nice and simple and slot straight in with our friend's AC500 system, which is now complete, taking it up to 18 kilowatts. They made this battery compatible with a bunch of their power stations, and there's some mixing and matching you can do depending on your needs. At some point, we'll be using this power system to power our shed, our machinery, our equipment, or whatever we need. And we're going to give it a really good flogging because we want to make sure that it's exactly what we need for all of the purpose that we have on our land. But this is a pretty big shed, so it doesn't mean that we don't have a backup plan for rainy days, etc., which I'll talk about later on in the video. Now, one of the things that we love straight away is that the B300K batteries are noticeably lighter and slimmer than the B300S batteries. Apart from one USB-A port in this battery, that's it. It's super simple, and I love that because there's less things that can go wrong. And you know that in my fishing videos, I like to keep things simple. So I think this design is a really good decision. Putting the B300K and the B300S beside each other, you can see the size difference, but notice they've also removed the cigarette lighter port. I don't think we've used it or ever will, to be honest. There's just so many ways to charge things on the AC500 system. I don't think we need 2 USB ports. However, I'm not sure why they chose to keep the USB-A port instead of the USB-C port. Another option with this battery is that once you've charged it, you can disconnect it and take it with you anywhere as a simple way to charge or power up any USB-A devices. And with 2.76 kilowatts of power, that'll actually last you a long time. I'm already thinking about the heat of summer when my friends come here. We could come up to this beautiful tree, set up a nice picnic table, bring the unit and plug in some fairy lights, and then at night we could sit under the stars and drink wine. That is a bit of luxury, but when you're using the sun's free energy, you don't have to think about the power bill. It means you can have more freedom to enjoy the simple life you're building. So really, these batteries work exactly as they should. They're a great addition. We haven't noticed any problems when connecting them up or any issues, etc. One thing I do appreciate is that during our research, we found on the Bluetti website that they have an initiative to help off-grid families in rural areas. I would love to see more of this, and this is one of the reasons that we're building all of this and our channel, is to be a light to our community and help other people, especially for the times that we're in and for what's ahead. And that brings me to the next part. How can you become more self-sustainable? What can you do right now to live a more simple life? With all this in mind, to recap on the last video, we did research and how important it is to plan for whatever you're doing so that you don't waste time and you get the best result. We also talked about working smart and networking with your friends and your community and using whatever you have on hand. And I also shared some amazing baits that you can harvest absolutely free for going and catching your own fresh fish. So some more simple tips for living and living sustainably. Number 1 is start small. You know, often we can look at the big picture and it can be just so overwhelming and we think, how are we going to get there? And that actually can prevent you from actually making a move and starting something. And we felt a little bit like that with our rural property. It just seemed like there was so much that needed to be done. But when you put one foot in front of the other, just make a start, it's incredible actually. I was just thinking today, I was looking back at what we've achieved in such a short period of time. It's amazing. And you know what? I was just feeling so grateful that, you know, we actually put some action to our dreams and ideas. So I know that don't be overwhelmed. Just make a start. Even if you live in an apartment in the city, grow a few fresh vegetables on your balcony. Learn how to harvest your own bait to go fishing. You could totally catch fresh fish and eat some of your own fresh produce, even if you don't have a rural property like I do. Point number 2 is always have a backup plan. Don't have all of your eggs in one basket. It just makes great common sense to do that. One example is power. You know, we rely on the sun for solar, however, we don't have sun all the time. So what do you do when you've got rainy weather and you don't have any power? Well, we actually have a petrol generator that we can use. We also have a fire inside and a fire outside. We have gas. We have multiple options that we can use for cooking or power. It's just a smart thing to do. What about petrol? That's an amazing one actually, because we all need it so much. It actually makes a lot of sense, even if you live in the city, to have a couple of jerry cans full of fuel. I mean, nowadays, all sorts of things happen. We've actually had a lot of outages and different things lately where computers are down. We had that in our local town recently where Coles weren't able to operate because something was wrong with their system. You can't go and buy what you need, so what do? It's the same thing with petrol stations. Everything runs from computer. Can you believe that? Everything runs from computer. We need some things which separate us from being a part of all of that, and we can actually rely on being organised. Even something like water. That water is such a basic need of life. But if you didn't have water supply, I mean, first base, you need water to drink. You need something to drink. So there's lots of things that you can think about to be organised and have a backup. Another thing that we do is that we have basic items that we know that we're probably going to need. We have a set of tools and equipment so that we're able to do basic repairs. Plus we have, you know, bolts, screws, simple parts for our tractor or our car. When it comes to professional things, we don't try and do things that we're not qualified to do. But we just think about what would we need and just what are basic things that would help if we weren't able to get them. If you're in the city, always make sure you've got some bottled water. That's not hard. You could buy a couple of slabs of bottled water and just keep them in your garage. You might not need them, but tell you what, if you do, you'll be so glad you did. Always have a spare tyre in your car. Make sure you do and learn how to change it. That's such a basic thing. But just a few things around transport so that you are good. And if you're in the country, like we are on this property, we need to have a few things, you know, so we don't have to drive a mile to try and get them. Well, that brings me to my next point for simple living, and that is to build your own seed bank. What's a seed bank? Essentially, it's a storage for seeds because, you know, we grow, everything that we eat comes from seeds. And, you know, it's amazing. We've actually started doing that and it's a lot of fun. And when you actually have your own storage of all types of seeds, it's a very powerful thing. You know, we've been growing a whole range of different things. We had some fennel. It's amazing. Fennel goes to seed so easily and you harvest the seeds, and fennel seeds are so good in cooking and all sorts of different things. Obviously you eat the fennel if you don't let it go to seed. We were growing some rocket, so we've harvested thousands and thousands of rocket seeds. Obviously we've got lots of different things. But one thing that's really important is to start off with organic, high quality seeds, non-GMO. So you want to actually do your due diligence and buy seeds that are original, good quality seeds. Then when you plant a harvest of anything, whether it's tomatoes or whatever, you put some plants in the ground, enjoy some of it and let a couple go to seed. Just let them go off, let them go to seed. Let them dry out and at the right time harvest those seeds and label them. It's incredible. You'll never need to buy seeds again. And you know, when you crack open a pumpkin, I don't know how many seeds there are in there. There might be like 200 seeds, but from one pumpkin, you could feed a whole suburb. Can you believe that? It's incredible. Just from those seeds, you put a pumpkin vine in, you get all these pumpkins, and from one pumpkin, you could save the seeds, and you could be eating pumpkins for the rest of your life. How exciting. I do like pumpkin. It's amazing. But I guess you're getting the picture of a seed bank. You know, around the world, there are major seed banks in some of the different countries where they have, you know, locked away all these heirloom seeds of all sorts of different varieties. Seeds are so important. They're amazing things. Like, they have everything for the life of whatever that thing is in the seed. And all you have to do is plant it in the ground, give it the right conditions, and you can reap a harvest. It's so cool, so exciting. How many flies are here right now? There's just flies everywhere. Although, yeah, they're a pest, the old flies, but I'm sure they have a purpose. I don't know what it is. My video person just yelled at me. She said that flies are the #1 pollinator in the world. Wow. You know, we know that bees pollinate flowers so that fruit can grow, but flies also are pollinators, so bring on the flies. I say, I can put up with them if I know that. Just quickly, on the seed bank thing, we actually keep 2 seed banks. We have 2 years in rotation. And the reason we do that is if, for example, some seeds were cross-pollinated by something else, or they got a bit damp and some mold got in, we could always go back to the previous year. We've actually got 2 lots of seeds. It's not hard to do, super easy actually. Doesn't take much time, but it means that we're totally covered when it comes to seeds and growing things. You know, one of the things that, I love fishing, but a great love of mine since I was a kid is gardening. I love gardening, I love growing things. There's so much joy in gardening, whether it's flowers or vegetables. It's amazing. And you know, on that point, on the whole self-sustainable thing is getting back to fishing, I'm going to show you 2 more things now, 2 more baits that you can harvest absolutely free, so that you can go out and you can catch your own fresh fish, so you can save money, you can spend time in the fresh air, great for your mental health, great for your body. Come on, I highly recommend it. Check out the rock pools at the end of a beach for small fish that have been trapped there at low tide. This occurs often. Many times I've seen schools of mullet trapped in rock pools. It can be a fun exercise catching them. If possible, herd the fish into a small narrow part at the end of a pool or crevice and then block the escape route. This will make it easier to catch them. The next amazing bait that we're going to get, you get at low tide most of the time on the rocks. It's absolutely incredible and fish go crazy for it. So I'm just going to go down and grab some. Ooh, look at that. This incredible bait is called cunjevoi. It's actually spelt Cunjevoi, cunjevoi, and it grows in absolute abundance right around the coast. In my 40+ years of fishing and collecting baits like this, I've been amazed at how quickly it grows. Sometimes you'll have a massive sea, huge waves that will completely scour the coast of cunjevoi, but within a couple of months, there's mass amounts growing again. It's just amazing how it regenerates. It's so cool. And I'm just going to cut some up for you so that you can have a close-up look at this incredible bait. Okay, so I'm going to get that guy. Then I'm going to okay, now a bit more. Look at that. Now I'm going to put my finger in around, and I'm going to go. Ooh. Look at that. What a cracking bait this is. It's quite incredible how you can see in there the empty cavity now. This is really like flesh. It's quite incredible. Look at that. Just an amazing thing. And fish absolutely go nuts over kanji. You can catch a lot of different fish on kanji. You know, a lot of really good quality eating fish. Brim, snapper, drummer, lots of stuff gets into that. All sorts of strange creatures that live in the ocean. And you know, believe it or not, you can use this if you're fishing off the edge of the rocks, like where I am now. You can actually use it off the beach as well, onto the sand bottom, preferably towards the end of a beach. On the sand near where the rocks start is really good, but this is amazing. And like I said, it regenerates so quickly. Incredible. Seriously, that is an amazing gift to fishermen. It's such a great bait. Now with the baits that I've shared with you in this video, I've actually got, and the previous video, I've actually got 2 full videos on all these amazing baits for fishing that you can find yourself absolutely free. So make sure that you check the links in the description. And remember, wherever you live or whatever you have, there is always something that you can do to be more self-sustainable and improve your life. Even if you can't see a solution, don't despair. Actually, just talk to somebody. Speak to some of your friends. Brainstorm with someone else. You know what? It helps so much to get other people's ideas because we all have particular gifts and talents, but we don't have everything. We need other people. So get around some quality people. Choose good friends and encourage each other. If you'd like a free PDF download of some vital keys from today's session, hit the link in the corner or in the description below. I hope you're enjoying these videos. I'm enjoying making them. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions, anything that you'd like to suggest. I would love to see that, and I look forward to seeing you very soon in the next video.